They'll tell you focus is about willpower, that you just need to try harder, that if you can't concentrate, it's your fault. You're lazy, weak, or just not built for deep work. That's the lie. The truth, your mind was never meant to handle the chaos you're feeding it. You wake up and instantly check your phone. Messages, notifications, bad news, artificial urgency. Then you scroll, then you multitask, then you wonder why your thoughts feel scattered and your work feels heavy. It's not a mystery, it's a system, and it's designed to break your focus. The Stoics didn't have smartphones, but they understood distraction. They trained for stillness, mental order, control. Marcus Aurelius ruled the largest empire in the world, and yet his personal notes weren't about conquering others. They were about conquering himself, his impulses, his ego, his attention. He knew, the world will always try to own your mind, and if you don't protect it, you don't own yourself anymore. But that's exactly what today's world wants. A distracted mind is a controlled mind, because when your attention is fractured, your decisions are easy to manipulate. You scroll instead of study, react instead of lead, numb instead of grow. This video isn't about productivity hacks, it's about freedom. Because when you reclaim your attention, you don't just focus better, you live better, you think sharper, you choose clearer, you finally start building a life that's led by you, not algorithms. Here's the real reason most people can't focus. Their minds are overstimulated and under-disciplined. You're not broken, you're overloaded, pulled in 100 directions, trained to crave novelty, and conditioned to fear stillness. That's not a personal failure, that's a cultural design. But the Stoics knew the antidote. Attention is a resource to be guarded like treasure. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That strength, it doesn't start with motivation, it starts with elimination. Focus isn't about doing more, it's about removing more. Remove distractions, remove the belief that multitasking is productive, remove the lie that noise is necessary. Epictetus taught that if you wish to improve, be content with being thought foolish. Translation: stop performing, stop trying to look busy, start building stillness, the kind of deep inner silence where real thinking happens. Ask yourself, when was the last time you sat still, without music, without screens, without reaching for something external? If you can't remember, that's not your fault, but it is your responsibility, because you'll never reach clarity if you're addicted to stimulation. And the truth is, most people aren't afraid of boredom. They're afraid of what they'll hear in the silence, the doubts, the unresolved truths, the discomfort of unfiltered thought. That's why they chase noise, not to feel alive, but to avoid facing themselves. But not you. You're here for more, for silence with substance, for focus that cuts through the fog and lets you finally hear your own voice, not the world's. If you've made it this far, you're not like most people. Most clicked away the moment it got quiet, the moment it got real. Because real clarity doesn't come with background music and fast edits. It comes with friction, with the uncomfortable truth that your mind has been hijacked, and you let it happen. But here's the part that matters. You're not here for noise. You're here for order. You're here because something in you is tired of being pulled, drained, distracted, not just from your work, from yourself. And that's exactly what this space is. Not a place for cheap hacks or shallow advice, but a system, a mindset, a daily callback to discipline, to presence, to mental ownership. So if this message cuts through the static, if it hits something real in you, if it feels more like a mirror than a motivational video, subscribe, not for more content, for reps, for rhythm, for reminders that you're not here to be consumed, you're here to build. And this is your training ground, because once you reclaim your attention, you reclaim your mind, and once you own your mind, there's nothing and no one that can own you. You want to reclaim your focus? Then stop chasing more and start cutting noise. Here's how the Stoics would train attention in today's world. Not with apps, not with timers, with discipline, with structure, with self-respect. Step 1. The morning boundary. No screen in the first 60 minutes. Not negotiable. Why? Because the first thing you feed your brain becomes the lens for your entire day. If you give your mind chaos first, don't be surprised when it serves you more of it. Instead, wake up with silence, with stillness, with intention. Read, reflect, write. Even 5 minutes is enough. Start the day by owning your mind, not renting it out to someone else's algorithm. Step 2. Single task with violence. No toggling, no background noise. Choose one task, set a timer. 25 minutes, go. Don't check, don't switch, don't self-negotiate. Train your brain that focus is default, not effort. Every time you break the loop of multitasking, you sharpen the edge. Step 3. Eliminate inputs before adding tools. You don't need another productivity system. You need to delete 5 apps. Block 1 website. Unfollow accounts that trigger compulsive scrolling. Why? Because your brain craves frictionless distraction, and they're everywhere. Your job is to build friction back in. Step 4. Evening reset. Ask, where did my focus fracture today, and why? Not to shame yourself, to track the enemy, to spot patterns, to tighten the code. Focus is a muscle, but muscles don't grow through hope. They grow through pressure and feedback. These aren't tricks, they're territory markers. Every time you defend your attention, you reclaim a piece of yourself. And once you start doing that, you stop asking how to focus, because you've already remembered why it matters. Something powerful starts to happen when you live like this. Your world doesn't get quieter, you do. And because of that, everything feels different. You stop reacting to every ping. You stop chasing every thought. You stop explaining your every move. Instead, you move on your own time. You speak when it's necessary. You engage when it's intentional. That's what Stoic focus builds, not just productivity, but presence. Suddenly, you're in the room fully, not scattered, not rehearsing conversations in your head while pretending to listen. You're here, and people feel it. Your words cut deeper. Your silence holds weight, because your mind isn't being pulled in 5 directions. It's pointed like a blade. And that's not just good for work. It's everything. You build stronger conversations. You make decisions faster. You sleep deeper. Why? Because your energy isn't leaking all day. You've closed the loops, tightened the system. You're not thinking harder. You're thinking cleaner. And the best part? You're not chasing focus anymore. You've become someone who doesn't trade attention for validation. You don't need to be seen all the time. You need to be clear. That's what the Stoics mastered. They weren't distracted by things outside their control. They kept their minds simple, sharp, strategic. And in that stillness, they became dangerous. Because in a distracted world, the focused man is unstoppable. Now you understand. Focus isn't about tricks. It's about terms. The terms you live by. The terms you allow into your mind. The standards you enforce when no one's checking. The Stoics weren't superhumans. They were just brutally consistent. They removed what didn't matter. They resisted what weakened them. They chose where their attention went, and they defended it like it was sacred, because it was. And now, it's your turn to stop blaming the world for your distraction, to stop pretending you need more time, to stop calling your scattered mind normal. It's not. It's a result of every unchecked input, every surrendered moment, every false urgency that stole a piece of your presence and left you wondering where your power went. But you can take it back, not in one day, in one decision. You don't need more apps. You don't need another dopamine detox. You need to look at your life and ask, what am I still giving my attention to that hasn't earned the right to shape who I'm becoming?